The latest image from Mars 3 has been received and Atlas has been spotted again, but now he looks completely different than before. The Martian sky has surprised us again. The fresh images taken by the rover's camera are astonishing. The shots show a perfectly outlined glowing cylinder, as if it's floating in the air, gliding above. Strangely, there's no tail of dust, not even a hint of fragmentation, only a shape with clear outlines. Astonishingly real? That leads to the thought, what if it's not a comet at all, but aliens? The images of the interstellar visitor taken during its approach to Mars stirred up the internet. Social networks were flooded with comments and theories. Users analyzed every pixel, every strange line, trying to figure out the origin of this extraordinary object. She was the one who recorded this event, and immediately, National Aeronautics and Space Administration published the raw footage. That's when it all started, a flood of criticism, discussions, strange theories, and hypotheses. The shape of the object isn't like the usual patterns. On the contrary, it's elongated, symmetrical, almost geometrically perfect. It sparked both interest and concern among scientists. Some enthusiasts began comparing the silhouette of the comet to ancient rock carvings, where similar elongated ellipses, carved thousands of years ago, can be found. Coincidence? However, the answer turned out to be much simpler. The elongated shape is just the result of movement during a very long exposure. The Perseverance camera has an angular longitudinal resolution of about 12.5 kilometers per pixel at a distance of 38 million kilometers to the objects. A glowing dot moving against such a background easily turns into an elongated streak up to 50,000 kilometers long. It's beautiful, but that's a false impression. Astronomers have seen such spectacular tricks before. A year ago, they observed a similar phenomenon near the moon. The elongated silhouette in the sky turned out to be just the South Korean satellite Danuri, which appeared distorted due to movement and exposure. Photographers and videographers will likely know what this means. But even if the shape is an illusion, the fact itself remains. Tri-Atlas is an interstellar wanderer, a very rare visitor passing through our system. A comet that can break the usual laws caught the attention of scientists Tri and Atlas for a reason. The composition of the comet is simply anomalous. It contains quite a lot of carbon dioxide and very few elements typical for comets. Just recently, it flared up with a bright yellow-green light, so intense that telescopes all over the world forgot about everything else for a while. Usually, such a shade can be produced by diatomic carbon molecules, but in this comet, they are almost not observed. That means something else is happening inside. Perhaps very rare chemical reactions or a photochemical process that is activated when heated by the sun. It seems as if the comet is shedding one mask, gradually trying on another, like a living being that doesn't quite want to be understood at first glance. The size of the nucleus is truly colossal, about 5 kilometers across. For comparison, that's a distance a person can walk in about an hour. The mass is colossal, almost 1 million times greater than that of the previous interstellar visitor, Oumuamua. National Aeronautics and Space Administration is preparing to use the HiRISE camera from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to accurately determine the size of its nucleus by the reflected light observed from the object. If the data is confirmed, this will be an interstellar giant, easily capable of overturning existing models of the formation of such bodies. The tail is on the opposite side and there is yellow-green flame. In the coming months, astronomers plan to observe the comet with very special attention. Its acceleration is about 4 to 6 meters per day, caused by the release of gas and dust, which is triggered by heating. The mass is estimated at 33 billion tons, and this matches the observations from Hubble. However, one element of the picture still doesn't quite add up. The comet's tail is not pointing away from the sun, but rather toward it. What is this oddity? Could it really be something alive? And in general, how can this be explained? One of the most common theories is optical scattering. If the dust cloud is too thin or made up of tiny particles, light can easily refract at unusual angles. However, that's what creates the illusion of a backward tail. Another hypothesis is related to magnetic fields. Interaction with the interplanetary magnetic wind can easily bend the ejected material, causing it to move in unexpected directions. But there's also a third one, the one that often comes up in stories like this. So here's the question again: what if it's not a comet at all? What if it's a ship, a probe, disguised as a natural object, using its tail as a solar sail? The probability is minimal, but the idea itself is captivating. And even though science doesn't confirm anything like this, human imagination stubbornly refuses to let go of such thoughts. Chemical anomaly. In the emission spectrum of II and Atlas, a record amount of carbon dioxide has been detected compared to water. This directly suggests that the body most likely formed under conditions completely unlike those in our solar system. These gases create local glowing areas, sometimes forming asymmetric halos or reverse tails. Most astronomers believe that II Atlas is a phenomenon resulting from a complex combination of dust, gas, and electromagnetic forces. But some say that perhaps we are witnessing something not created by nature, and this thought, strangely enough, doesn't seem frightening, but rather quite exciting and beautiful. An echo from the distant past, the legendary WBOW signal. This story involuntarily reminds us of another mystery that has been troubling many astronomers for almost half a century. On August 15, 1977, amateur astronomer Jerry Eman noticed a powerful pulse on a printout of radio signals. Quickly grabbing a pen, he circled it and wrote one word on the side: wow. The signal lasted 72 seconds and came in at a frequency of 1,420 MHz, the hydrogen line, the very one considered a universal channel for communication in the universe. It was 30 times stronger than the usual background, very clear and focused. The strange thing is that it was never detected again. Years went by, and later many explanations appeared, ranging from satellites to radio interference. In early 2016, astronomer Antonio Parige proposed a new version of the WOW signal. The signal was caused by clouds of hydrogen from comets 266, P. Christensen, and P. 208 megabs. But checking the data showed it doesn't match. The WOW signal remained what it was, a whisper from an unknown source, somewhere between science and imagination. Now that a new hero and wanderer has appeared in the solar system, 3I Atlas, the questions are surfacing again. What if the WOW signal wasn't just a random radio interference, but a greeting from a similar interstellar object? What if that was the first attempt at contact with something unknown? Quiet, unnoticed, unrecognized? Or just an ordinary coincidence that we often project our expectations onto? Can such a comet naturally and simply emit at the hydrogen frequency? Almost everyone claims that definitely not, unless it's not really a comet. Then whose voice was it? A forgotten automatic station, a drifting beacon left by someone millions of years ago. Or maybe it's just ordinary human imagination, which often has no limits, but is always searching for meaning where there is only space, stars, and noise. A scientist immediately demands some kind of proof, but a miracle always arises between data and a dream. Oumuamua showed that space is full of wanderers, and 3i Atlas is yet another reminder of that. Maybe long ago, someone already tried to speak to us, but we just don't know how to listen that way yet, or we don't fully understand that it was actually addressed to us. The truth, as always, lies somewhere in the middle, right between skepticism and hope, between a formula and a breath. We just need to listen a little more closely, go deeper, and maybe then we'll learn much more. And as for 3i Atlas, is it ice or stone? Maybe something more. We hope the answer awaits us in the very near future. And maybe when it comes, we'll realize that we've long been ready to hear it. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and remember, the more active you are, the more you like the video, the more people will be able to learn about us. And one day these guys will change the world.